Hello, and thanks for looking back at the channel. And immediately you can probably hear and see this amazingly non-prototypical mail train I've got running. After last week's video, having great fun with the Hornby Dublo mail equipment, I thought it's time to have a play with some Tri-ang stuff. So I'm just going to hang a mailbag on. I've been setting up some equipment. Now, it's going to be a bit more difficult to try and film this, but the first coach should swallow this up any second. And beautiful smooth pickup, totally mechanical. There's the apparatus, spring-loaded ramp in the track. Now I'm going to make my way round to this side of the layout where there's been some alterations in the track, which I'll show you in a minute, and hopefully that mailbag will be fired out into this collection bin. And I hope you saw that. Well, I decided to incorporate the Tri-ang and Tri-ang Hornby mail coach system into the Super 4 layout, and the first thing I discovered was that unlike the Hornby Dublo that we saw in the last video, the Tri-ang system uses both sides of the track. So it picks up from one side, and I've set this up on the upward main line, and it drops off on the other side. Now, because my main lines run almost parallel to each other all the way around the layout, I soon discovered that I hadn't got room for the drop-off bin. So I've been just altering the track pan a bit to incorporate extra items. So I've widened out this curve, started off now with a third radius, going down to a second radius, giving myself a nice gap in there for something in the future. And then I've just spaced the main lines apart for a section of the layout to allow operation of the operating mail coaches. I think I'll be able to put a signal box or something else in there in the future. It just it's great to evolve your layout, I find, not stick to anything, so you can see the area of the baseboard where the track was previously. So I'm going to talk a bit about this rake of wagons and the loco in a minute, but I'll just update you on what's happening in the centre of the layout. When I was setting up for the mail coach, this Tri-ang Hornby setup, I've been looking through my boxes, and I have indeed found more high-level piers and more inclined piers, just what I was looking for, and my red brick bridge, which I'm very pleased to have incorporated in the layout there. So with more piers in, the higher level now is becoming more stable, and I'm looking forward to setting up some inclined piers and seeing if I can actually get wagons to roll down. Just starting to experiment with how I might construct the hump shunting area. So that's an update there. You've seen the slight change to the main lines. Now I'm just going to show you now, if I can just reach over, a couple of items. So the Continental tank, which you've seen running around now, that's our 653. It's a really lovely model. Now, it's really absolutely, I don't know, I'm just amazed to find in my collection I've got this unopened example. There we are, 653S 262 Continental tank, and sellotape still intact on that end of the box and also on that end, so I'm inclined to leave that. It's something nice to put up on the shelf or just keep out on display. Obviously I don't want the sunshine to get on it because it will fade it, but absolutely as it was when it came out of the factory, so a bit of a interesting curio. So I'll just move that to one side, and then look at the picture we've got here. There, that mail bag just about to be swiped into the coach. This is the box where I found the operating apparatus for the Tri-ang and Hornby mail coaches for the Super 4 layout, and I just enjoy looking at some of these great pictures that they had back in the day. So just to describe the rake of mail vans a little bit more, that's R23 behind the R653S tank, and then the Continental mail coach is R119, and holding on for dear life right at the back I've got a couple of really old Tri-ang Items. It's another R23. It could be acetate, I'm not 100% sure. It's got the Mark II couplings on it. And then I've got a little old guards fan with Mark II couplings on as well. I think that's R124. Now, I do like operating the older items. They've got completely open axle boxes, very, very coarse flanged wheels. They rattle and bounce around the layout, but the benefit of Super 4 is they do go over the points, they do go over the crossovers, and it's great to be running stuff from the late 1950s Tri-ang period right back into the early days. I think it's time for another mailbag, so I've got a few of these, they're plastic, so hopefully I can just hang this on. Let's get ready. Now, unlike the Hornby Dublo one, I've got no way of choosing which coach it goes in, so it's going to go in the first one. And another great smooth pickup. It's a superb system, and we'll wait now. And the real advantages of the Tri-ang system over the Hornby Dublo is you can decide where on the layout you want your drop-off point. It doesn't have to be right next to the pickup point. So here we come, and that's just been flung into the bin. So both systems have their advantages and disadvantages. Main advantage of the Hornby Dublo system is, of course, you've got the play value of the remote control aspect. But the Tri-ang Hornby system, you can just place the pickup point and the drop-off point anywhere you want, apart from each other, unlike the Hornby Dublo where everything's together on this baseboard. Well, I've had quite a bit of fun running this strange rake. I love that Continental loco. I don't have many of the Tri-ang transcontinental or continental models, but I've got one or two, and I will try and get them on the layout at some point. But I think I'm going to pause the camera in a minute and swap a few trains around, because on the outer of the double track loops I've got the more modern mail train that you might remember from a video or two ago, and I think I'd like to give that a run around the upward main line too. So I'll be back with you in just a minute. Well, I was going to swap these around off camera, but it just occurred to me that I probably didn't show you the end of the box that I featured in the first segment, the operating mail coach set box, because it's got a nice label on there saying it's R402. And the other thing I noticed is it says now in new BR livery, so they put an additional item onto the box to enable it to still be used with the new blue and grey BR items, but it's a lovely thing. So anyway, I'll put that away now, and I need to get these trains swapped over, so I thought I'd probably do it on camera, just a bit of fun. So I'm just going to ease off the power and set points A to straight. Now that's going to take me into the entrance of the inner of the double track loops, so as these great coaches rattle and shake their way around the layout, some wear in the wheels of particularly the guards fan, I think. Let's just come alongside the fuel train. Well, I'm pleased we made it. So that's the duties of the little Continental tank over for the day. So I'm getting to the point switches, and points A set back to curve. Now point C, I need to set those to straight because I'm going to try and reverse this big diesel out onto the upward main line, so I need to just get some power into that. There's a lot to push there. Let's just watch this crawl over the diamond and the points. Backing up very nicely. Just the slightest of hesitations there over the points, and remembering to set point C to curve. there it is. Right, let's get some power on and get this moving around the upward main line. Slight bit of wheel slip there, just the smallest amount. A lot of coaches on. So just moving away now, getting a little bit of speed into this. Right, let's have a look. Where are my mailbags? So I've got them on the platform. So I'll just try and get one onto this hook. Let's see. Should be going straight in right now. Nice pickup there. Putting a little more power on. And as it makes its way along the back of the layout, I'm going to try and get to the bin where these are deposited and see if we can watch it being ejected. Lovely, always nice to see it go into the right place. Look at that streaking away to the far right of the layout. So old and new mail trains. I think one last look at the Wren and Hornby Dublo train from last week now. Any opportunity to run this great looking shiny red set of super detailed coaches. Great to run old and new types of locos together, all the colours on the layout. Well, I think I probably explored the Tri-ang and Hornby Dublo mail trains now to a fairly full extent. I hope you've enjoyed seeing them all. But I think it'll be time to move on to other items on the layout next time. I'm particularly looking forward to arranging a few pieces of track together and seeing what sort of gradient I'm going to need in my potential hump shunting yard. So hopefully if I get time up here in the next few days, I'll be able to feature that in a video for next time. So with that in mind, I think we're drawing to the end of this video. So I'll leave you watching these two locos hauling their rakes of coaches around the Tri-ang Super 4 layout. And until next video, I will say goodbye.